Welcome back. I'm Neil.
I'm Pat.
I'm Michael.
And this is the 4-on-1. We're talking everything in the football world. Just a couple guys in the basement with nothing better to do. Boys, how we feeling
Let's
this
go! I'm hyped.
Brand new
doing
year.
Awesome.
Brand new year.
Happy 2020.
Happy
this
2020.
is crazy.
Happy 2020.
Our childhoods are over, and it's
They
just
are.
really weird.
Finite.
Yeah.
Might be getting married this decade.
Please stop. No, not
Okay.
happening.
All
We're
right.
as close to
All right.
2030 as we are to 2010.
That's terrifying.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Crazy.
God.
Michael, how are you, man?
I'm very good. I'm not gonna lie. This podcast kind of snuck up on me.
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
It really
Me
did.
too.
Playoffs,
Me too.
baby. I'm
Yeah.
hyped.
Playoffs.
This is
Wow.
awesome.
A
Did-
lot of emotional roller coasters.
Me
You know,
too.
kind of.
Did I expect to talk
You know,
about
yeah.
my Patriots on this weekend?
It's okay. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Okay. It's okay.
Good.
So to hop in, so I have, as always, an A and B, and then we're gonna hop into Pats versus Titans. We got wild card weekend, playoff
Wow,
football.
I never thought I'd be saying that.
They were just saying that.
Oh
First
my
one in
God.
10 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unreal.
that's unreal. We're hopping into keys of the game. What do we got to do to win? Then we're gonna each hop into the three other wild card games. So we each did our own main individual analysis on singular games. Then we're all gonna chime in different points and then fill out our brackets as we go.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Unreal.
Then we're gonna finish it up with 2-minute warning and then top 3 board games. So
Absolutely.
who wants to start it off?
A and B. Let's do it, man.
Oh, A and B.
A and B.
Let's get after
right.
it.
A and B.
Let's do it.
All right.
So, let's see. So a lot of off-season talk. A lot of
off-season talk.
coaches being fired.
Jason Garrett. Wow.
Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
This one's about actually retiring players.
Okay.
So, who do you think the oldest guy in the league right now is?
Fitzgerald?
Vinatieri?
Vinatieri. That's
Vinatieri.
right.
Vinatieri. He is 47, 4-time Super Bowl
Can't believe I
champion.
got that. Wow. I've got right
Over
myself.
23 years. 9 with the Pats, 13 with the Colts. Listen to this. He's made 599 out of 715 field goals. That's 84%. And made 874 of 898.
I wonder if they give the same question, but ask
97
the question.
points. 97%. Is he retiring this year? A, yes. B, no. After this offseason.
Is he or should he?
Will he make the ultimate decision to retire this offseason?
I don't think he will either, but I'm gonna take this because I think he should.
Okay.
I think
Why?
he
You think
should
he's...
because kicking is all confidence.
Agreed.
It is,
Right.
I agree.
We saw the 2015 AFC Championship kind of destroy Steven Gostkowski's career. I'm not gonna lie.
Agreed.
He missed
Destroy his career.
Dude, come
No.
on. Since then, he's been horrific.
Agreed.
Awful.
No, honestly,
He's
Not
missed a
horrific.
field
is
goal.
iffy.
He's
Awful
been
last
on the
year.
decline.
He was awful last
Okay.
year. He
Yeah.
missed a field goal in the last 3 Super Bowls. Well, 4, including the AFC Championship versus the Broncos.
Right.
That's so cool. Last 3 Super Bowls. Like, come on.
The fact that we were able to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
God.
crazy.
And it's like no, and we're actually we're playing on wild card weekend. Ugh.
Yeah, we're mad about it. Crazy.
So, once that game happened, he was on the decline since then.
I don't know.
And I think
I don't
Vinatieri's had a very poor year.
So far this
Yeah,
year,
I drafted on my fantasy team this year.
Every time after a kick, after he misses, he just looks so
Defeated.
for lack of defeated. I was gonna say dead, but he looks defeated. Honestly. And once your confidence gets hit as a kicker, most importantly, I mean that's kind of not the end, but it's
no, yeah, definitely.
Adam
it's a
Vinatieri.
big finish.
I agree, but Adam Vinatieri strikes me as a guy who he will play until he sucks.
Yeah.
He didn't suck. He didn't have a
He
fantastic
wasn't
year.
good.
He wasn't fantastic.
What are his numbers last year?
I have an interesting question for you guys. Will he retire a Patriot or a Colt?
Colt.
But he made more key pivotal plays that defined his
Yeah, but
career.
He's
also
been with the Colts
47
longer.
years old.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, so
you gotta think about
he's
kickers.
a career 84%.
You mean
Kicker, right?
which team was he more important to?
What will he retire? What will he be known as?
Oh, well, he won 3 Super Bowls with the Patriots.
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
Patriot. Yeah.
I think about what is he going to end his career on, which team?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, that's
Oh,
not what
right.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
saying
all
he
right,
go
so
back
just
to
to put it in perspective, his career is 84%
Yeah.
field goal percentage.
Mhm.
This year, 68.
Yeah.
That's a 20% drop off. Or 60, something like that.
I mean, you might be right.
That's
I
a
might have to
big
switch my answer.
drop-off.
I think
I don't
I don't think he's gonna. I'm with Michael. I think you should.
I think
I
you
think
should.
you might be right.
I think you should.
Who wants to start?
I would love to
Patriots?
start out.
You're gonna start
I
out?
would love
Go
to
for
start
I'm
it.
excited. I'm
Go for it.
excited.
Because I want to give my raw reaction.
2 cents. Go for it, man.
So I just want to lead off by saying, what the hell? How do you screw yourself out of a first round bye,
Yeah.
losing to the Miami Dolphins
I'm
at
gonna
home,
get
week
into that.
17?
I'm gonna get into that.
So this is the reality.
I have a bit.
okay?
I have a bit of a rebuttal for that. But
I'm
continue.
gonna give you the little lay of the land, right?
Yep.
The Pats need to theoretically beat a hot Titans team,
Mhm.
go to Kansas City and beat them, go to Baltimore and beat them. That's not easy. Okay,
If
that's
they're
not
still
including-
in it.
Exactly. That's my point. And then they can go to the Super Bowl and somehow beat the second best team in the NFL, or maybe best team in the NFL, depending on who would win.
Yeah.
Let's look at it this way. Let's just dive into the game. The game is in Foxborough, and the Pats are 6-2 at home. Titans 5-3 on the road. Pats are 5-point favorites. They're 2-3 in their last 5. Titans are 3-2 in the last 5. Pats, I love this stat. 14-2 at home in the first round of their playoffs since 2001. They're 2-1 at wild card games, so don't play in a whole lot. Keys to the game. I don't think Edelman is going to be that important.
I completely agree with you.
I don't, and I.
Interesting.
It's going to be the supporting cast that's going to make or break this team.
Dorsett.
Ready for this? The Patriots are 3-3. They have 3 wins and 3 losses when Edelman is their top receiver, meaning he had the most receiving yards.
That's
When he has the most, they're 3-3.
that's interesting.
They're a 500 team. When he isn't, when anyone else leads in receiving, they're 7-0.
That's remarkable.
They're
actually.
7-0 when Edelman is not leading them in receiving.
Wow.
I've said this basically for the entire season, but I think the offense succeeds when the run game works.
Completely.
Agreed.
Sony,
That's like statistically true.
Yeah, of course.
Sony needs to be on. He played pretty okay last week, 4.1 yards per carry, which is it's good. It's something to write home about, right?
It's you know what? It's something we're home about for him.
No, for anybody.
No.
4.1, that's solid.
okay.
That's
like
that's
top
good,
15 in
dude.
the NFL.
That's
Okay.
good.
But his longest run was 9 yards, so he didn't break anything. He had no big plays. A big
Chunk,
play.
dude. It's just chunk,
Yeah.
like a little, like 5 yards.
A big
Yeah.
play in the
6
NFL,
yards,
a
8
big
yards.
play is 10 plus yards for run or 20 plus yards for pass.
Right.
He had no big plays. If he doesn't have any big plays,
You know
or
what?
big
We're
runs,
not looking for big plays.
No,
big
but we
plays
are.
don't necessarily
But we
win you
are,
games,
because you just
though.
lost to the Miami Dolphins by 3 points at home in Week 17 because you didn't have any big plays and because Edelman played like shit.
He did.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have any big runs, then this offense is going to heavily rely on their faulty wide receiver core, which, as we know, cannot be relied on. I think the biggest one is stopping Derrick Henry, though. That's the biggest.
I
key.
was
I
just
have a
going to
lot
get
on
into that. Yep.
He led the league in rushing yards with 1,500 yards. I think it's like 1,504 or something. Last week, he ran for 211 yards
3
and
touchdowns.
3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
The Pats' run defense, it's been
Yeah.
over the end of the year, which
The what
worries
the
I have
run
a-
defense? or
I have a
pass
lot more
defense?
confidence in.
It's
the
been
pass
eh.
defense.
It's
Hands down.
over the end of the year, which worries me, figuring how Henry is, their biggest playmaker.
Yep.
And Gilmore, he also needs to show up big. I mean, AJ Brown has been hot lately. He's been topping 100 yards in 4 of his last 6 games. He's got 4 touchdowns over that same span. He's got wheels, dude. And they got to make sure that he doesn't beat Gilmore. I got a prediction.
Sharpie it in, Mike.
Okay.
Yep.
Sharpie that. Draw in.
So obviously, I think because I'm a Patriots fan. I'm going to put in
Me too.
Patriots over
Oh, yeah.
the Titans.
Hands down.
All right.
So
Deal. Hop in, man.
So I kind of want to dive into my analysis more. So I kind of disagree. So I feel like if I'm New England, I feel as though it makes more sense for Gilmore to cover Davis and J.C. Jackson to cover A.J. Brown, and then
It won't
either
happen.
help from Devin McCourty or Deron Harmon.
I don't think so either. It's just AJ Brown's their number 1. They don't have a very solid tight end, so there's no need for
There's no
safety
need for the safeties.
coverage.
Yeah, I feel that.
So then they could just double up AJ Brown with safety help because he's like super fast.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's actually interesting. So this is a really, really strong Titans team. Completely different than the one we saw at the beginning of the season. Their first 6 games, they went 2-4 under Mariota, and then finished season 7-3. Once Tannehill took over as quarterback, and even Gilmore said the turnaround in Tennessee is entirely because of Tannehill.
I could agree.
The question is, will the Pats defense be able to stop this Titans offense?
Yes.
I think the answer is yes. But like Michael said, the key is going to be containing Derrick Henry. He's got just over 1,500 yards on the season, 16 touchdowns on the ground, and 2 receiving touchdowns as well. How can the Patriots win besides stopping that Titans offense? it depends entirely on how well our offense performs.
Absolutely, I agree. I think, it relies on the offense. I think the defense come playoff time is going to turn into a bend but don't break defense.
Yeah.
Like the Patriots kind of been for the last 18 years.
Yeah.
Tennessee's a good team. They're way better than the 9-7 mark. I
Agreed.
think with Tannehill at QB,
Okay.
I think they go like 11-5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So, yeah,
I really don't know.
Tom Brady's played 7 career games against the Titans. He's 142 of 225 passes, 63%, for just over 1,700 yards with 12 touchdowns and just 1 interception. I think this game,
that's pretty good.
like we've said in the past, this game is going to be entirely about how well Brady can connect with his receivers and specifically how much time the O-line can give Brady in the pocket. As you know, Pat, we've said before, if Brady gets time in the pocket, more times than not, he's going to find someone to throw to. I think it's going to be close. I have the Patriots winning at home by 10. I got 27-17, Pats.
Okay. So, for all the sports bettors out there, because I know my brother and his friends, my brother Brendan does a lot of sports betting with his friends. So, the spread is 5 points.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know what the over-under is, right? So, for people who...
46.
Right. The over-under is 44, but you know what it is.
44.
Like, you know what this over
Yeah, it's the combined points.
Mm-hmm.
Combined points, and the bet is if you think that it's going to be over, in this game, 44 or under 44. So, the over-under is 44.
Wait a second. That's literally mine.
Yeah.
That's my...
44. Great. So, what I like to do when I talk about teams is I like to talk about just not the pro con, but like the stats just on paper, like just looking at it, and then I dive a little deeper.
Yep.
So when you look at the Titans, 54 touchdowns this season, 8 interceptions thrown this season between Marcus Mariota and Ryan Tannehill alike. Patriots have 49 touchdowns in the season, and Brady has thrown 8 this season. So if you look at touchdown, the Titans are a better team. So on paper, the Titans appear better. The Patriots are at home, and they flip a switch when the playoff comes around.
I agree.
Since 2001, and this took me a while to figure out because there was no stat on it. Since 2001, the Patriots are 20-3 in the playoff games at home. Okay, so take that since 2001. So that should tell you something right off the bat. Michael was at the Bills game. Tell us, Michael.
In your expert opinion,
Tell us a little. What's the word? Tell us a little about
It's
the energy
electric. I mean,
in that stadium.
We know that. I think it's electric. It's underrated. It's a great stadium. Fans get wild, obviously.
And I want to address something that Michael was talking about. Everyone's getting mad and upset about the Patriots losing against the Dolphins. I want to quickly talk about that. When I talk about sports, I like to talk about the past because I do believe that history repeats itself.
I don't like the smirk on your face.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Okay? Neil, Michael, what do you think in the past 6 years, the New England Patriots, what do you think in the past 6 years, the record of the New England Patriots Week 17 is?
I say 7 years?
Past 6 years.
6-4-2.
3-3.
I was close.
And 2 out of those 3 games were against who?
Miami.
So,
No, but
to
that's
be
not
honest,
accurate. That's not accurate.
It is accurate.
No, it's accurate, but it doesn't tell the whole picture. Let's be real for a second.
They were at home.
Do the Patriots normally have to play Week 17?
You're right.
They don't. So they sit all their players, play the backups, and they can lose. It doesn't matter.
That's
kind
true.
of like the Titans versus Houston last week.
Houston.
They
I see what you're
sat
saying.
Hopkins, sat Watson, and they beat them 35-14.
Regardless, though, but dude, think about it. Not even Week 17. Think about the Miami Miracle. I'm just saying that Miami has been our kryptonite for a while. That's all I'm saying. I think it was a freak game. That's all I'm saying. And one of those losses.
I wouldn't say Miami has. I would say Miami geographically has been, weather-wise, has been our kryptonite. I don't think Miami team has
Dude,
been.
I think the Miami team has kind of been our kryptonite. What's so bad about playing in hot weather?
No, my point.
We're not used to it.
I'm saying the
I guess
hot
so.
weather is what is our kryptonite. I don't think the Miami team is. I think it's the hot weather.
I don't know. I think it's a lot of finger pointing. But one of those losses in Week 17 was in 2014, and we won the Super Bowl. So for all those worrying about stressing over the loss, I don't think you should. Because it's in the past, it's happened before. But back to what I was saying. I want to dive into Tannehill because
He's unreal.
wow.
he's doing well.
Wow.
He's the best passer rating in the league,
Yep.
largest yards per attempt in the league,
Yep.
and largest yards per completion in the league. So it sounds crazy to say he's elite, but he sure as hell playing like he is. Okay? So there's going to be 2 X factors in this game.
He's gonna make a lot of money next year.
Yeah.
Agreed.
There's going to be 2 X factors for the Patriots in this game. One of which is shutting down A.J. Brown. And we've seen him. In the past couple weeks, he's a good player. I'm not seeing raw value.
He's also a rookie.
and that's probably why I'm
Yeah.
not seeing raw value. I'm not seeing raw value. He's got little spurts of good games. In the last 6 games, 1-0-2, 1-0-1 touchdowns.
Yeah, but that's not. You can't look at touchdowns. You just look at yards.
And I'm going to get into that. And of those games with 0 touchdowns, we're talking 45 yards and 34-yard games.
Yeah.
And let's hop into this. The 34-yard game, and this goes back to the Patriots. Let's focus on this. The 34-yard game was against the Saints, who locked them down the whole time using Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah.
The 45-yard game was against the Colts, who was shut down by Darius Leonard. So what makes everybody out there think that Stephon Gilmore, the best corner in the league, can't shut this guy down?
I don't think anybody's debating that.
I'm just saying it's an X factor.
I think it comes down to the fact that we need Gilmore to be Gilmore.
I agree.
But honestly, we're focusing.
That's why it's being talked about so much.
I'm just
No,
talking
it's
X
not.
factors.
It
I'm
really
saying
is
Gilmore
not.
needs to shut this guy down if you want to win this
we're
game.
talking about Gilmore. A lot of people are talking about Gilmore, not AJ Brown. We're not talking about Derrick
I'm saying
Henry enough.
the X factor is, and I'm going to get into that. That was my second X factor, which brings me to the next point of Derrick Henry, as I was saying. So the secondary, hopefully, shutting down. AJ brings up a need to step up and shut down Henry, who's been having a solid season. Okay, it's going to be a cold one in New England. The weather hopefully will factor into that for the Titans, perhaps. We're not sure, but I think Henry.
Tennessee's cold.
That's what I'm saying. It's pretty cold, but I think definitely Henry. We're gonna have to shut down Henry up front.
Absolutely.
Bring up front, which we haven't been fantastic on. I'm sharpieing it in. Sharpieing it in.
Absolutely.
Patriots. Roll Pats.
Yep.
That's all I got on
All right.
Pats.
Bills Texans.
Bills Texans. Let's get after it. Michael, you want to start with this?
Oh, I have Bills Texans. That's
Yes,
right.
you do.
Okay, so Texans are at home. They are 3-point favorites. Texans are 5-3 at home. Bills are 6-2 on the road. Bills defense is playing great, right? I'm excited to see if they find a way on how to stop Deshaun Watson.
Mhm.
Watson has only one game of playoff experience, and he's 0-1 in that game. Allen has no playoff experience as Josh Allen, but he has a better defense. I think he has better coaching. I think the Bills are better coaching than the Texans are. Bill O'Brien, he's okay, but he's good compared to their division. I mean, if you look at their division, they don't have very good coaching.
Agreed.
They have a better O-line, as in the Bills have a better O-line. Watson has a better wide receiver core, and they have home field. So, like, you weigh both of them, Allen having the O-line coaching, Watson having better receiver core and home field. I think it's a real pick-em, but I think Watson's the better quarterback, and he's going to find a way to exploit this
Hold on.
Bills defense.
You think it's a pick 'em?
Yeah.
You think you're comparing Watson and
Not comparing
Allen?
them. Not comparing them. I'm comparing the game.
I'm sorry.
saying the
Okay,
game is a pick.
I misunderstood.
No, Watson's a
Sorry.
better quarterback.
Of course.
Mhm.
I think you can't compare those two dudes.
But, and as I think that Watson's the better quarterback, I think he's going to be able to play well against the Bills. The Texans, it's weird. They kind of rely on cheap touchdowns. Like, they rely on, like, 40, 50-yard bombs down the field. Like, Carlos Hyde, 50-yard touchdowns. Like, you don't see many Texan, like, 10, 12 play drives. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like, they don't have those. They have, like
Big plays.
6, 7, you know?
Right.
The Bills do not give up big plays.
Yeah.
That's why, in my opinion, they're the best defense in the league in that matter. In that matter. They don't give up big plays. The Patriots and 49ers, I mean, we saw it a few weeks ago against the Bills, gave like a 55-yard touchdown. Last week, they gave up a few big plays. They're prone to giving those up, right? 49ers, they've been 27th in the league in passing defense over the last, like, 8 games. They've not been playing well. Bills, in my opinion, best defense in that category. So
Right.
I got the Bills on the road. I think the Bills are going to go into Houston
Yeah.
and I think Josh Allen's going to get his first playoff W.
Interesting.
Hey, wait, can I start it off?
Absolutely. So
All right.
I'm
I'm actually, you know what? It's a hot take, but I'm actually with you on this one.
I got the Bills.
with you.
They're the 5 seed. Texans are the 4. But I don't know. I like the Bills.
All right,
Boys.
Pat, hop in.
It's unanimous. I got the Bills too.
Interesting.
I have one X factor this game. It's going to be Tre'Davious White. Tre'Davious White.
He's a
Houston's
top 3 cornerback in the NFL.
100%. Houston's entire offense, and before you say this, Neil, I know you're sensitive about this. Houston's entire offense has been run by Hopkins and Watson. Hopkins is a sensitive subject for my buddy Neil. Trading him away. No, you got him.
Traded for
I
him.
got him.
Stupid, and traded away McCaffrey. While his
Leave me
numbers,
alone.
well, his numbers did take a slight decline. Hopkins
Mm-hmm.
still, I think he still stays atop one of the most elite receivers in the league.
Watkins' numbers, McCaffrey's numbers.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, no. Hopkins had a very good year.
He had a
That's,
good year.
that's what I'm saying. I still
but
he thinks stays atop one of the
didn't
most
have
elite players in
McCaffrey
the league.
No one had McCaffrey here.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Tre'Davious White.
Hopkins finished number 5 in the NFL for fantasy
Yeah,
points.
that's true.
Tre'Davious White will have to absolutely shut down Hopkins if they want to have a chance at this.
Agreed.
That is my. If Tre'Davious White does not shut down Hopkins, they will lose this game. I think he's going to. Another important factor for me is going to be the running game. Buffalo allows the 19th most yards per rush in the league.
No.
And with
Middle of the pack, right?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Middle of the pack, but in the playoffs, you don't want to see middle of the pack. This is playoffs.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And with a mobile quarterback like Watson and Carlos Hyde, the Bills are going to have to step it up in that department.
Hyde's really underrated.
I agree that he's underrated. I'm with that. And that brings me to Allen. To this day, I do not know how I feel about this dude. And to be honest, he shows promise, and I think this game will kind of figure out how I feel about him.
I say
Yeah.
one word. I think sporadic.
Sporadic, I think, is
he's
a good
very
word.
up and down. He's very he has his moments, but he also has his stupid plays.
But what I think is going to help him is that he's playing a hurting and lacking Texans defense. And I think that is really rung true for the Texans.
I think it'll just matter how he plays. Seeing him play in the playoffs will show a lot about who
Right.
he is, how he'll perform going forward.
Absolutely.
what he's gonna grow into. Yeah.
Right. And this means he's going to be throwing a lot of bombs downfield. John Brown, high-scoring games. Defense wins games.
Yep.
Bills win with a key interception.
Interesting.
That's what I got.
I'm very anxious to hop into Saints and Vikings.
Sorry, can I go back for a second?
Absolutely.
Who do you think has a better chance of beating the Ravens?
Which or which?
Bills or Texans? What do you think?
Well, the Texans.
think
Let's
the
look at
Bills.
this. Let's look at this. I agree. Let's look at so the Baltimore faced both of those.
Technically, if
teams.
the Titans win, they play Baltimore.
Tech.
If the Titans win,
Yeah, 'cause
they
missed
play
the Bills.
Baltimore.
Yeah. Okay,
So let's say the
I'll-
Patriots win.
Let's look at this.
Right.
So, both of those teams faced Baltimore, as in the Bills and the Texans both played them. When the Bills played, it was 24-17. The Bills
Yeah,
had a
and they-
2-minute drive.
They blew
They
them out.
almost came. They got down to the 10-yard line, and they couldn't convert.
I want to say this one because it was my game of the week. I predicted it was going to be Ravens Texans. I saw the two really good quarterbacks. I thought they were going to sling it a lot. It was 41-7 Ravens.
41-7. The
41 to
Ravens beat
7.
the Texans.
So I
Track-
think
history. If history repeats, I think the Bills will win.
And I'm a big history repeats itself guy, and I completely agree.
Yep.
All right, who wants to hop in?
I'm
hopping in.
Vikings.
Vikings?
So Saints will be hosting the Vikings Sunday afternoon. We got a Minnesota Miracle rematch for you. Things to watch in this game: offense,
Diggs, sideline,
Touchdown!
touchdown.
it's like Joe Buck.
So electric.
Vikings win it.
Crazy.
The offense on both of these teams incredible. I want to hop into the Saints offense first, matched up against this Minnesota defense. Saints have averaged 28.6 points per game this season, third best in league. They've scored at least 30 points, NFL best 11 times, and they've hit that mark 6 of the last 7 games. Needless to say, they are hot right now.
Yeah.
Saints have only turned over the ball 8 times this season, lowest in the NFL.
Wow.
But the Vikings only allow, on average, 19 points per game to opponents and have caused 31 turnovers on the season so far. It's going to be very, very interesting to watch. Very solid defense and one of the sickest offenses in the league, definitely a Super Bowl contender. New Orleans comes in the postseason with the 7th best passing offense in the league. Drew Brees has been playing fantastic since returning from thumb surgery. He's
He's having a
averaging...
very underrated season.
Agreed.
The stats don't show because he was out for a while, but completion
Brees has had a
wise,
solid
rating
season.
wise, he's having a very
Especially
good
for all that time injured.
year. Yeah.
Averaging 295 yards per game in the 10 full contests he's played in, while completing 74.3% of his throws with 27 touchdown passes and only 4 interceptions. One of the helpful components of Brees' success, obviously, fourth-year wideout Michael Thomas, led the league with
By
1,725
a landslide too.
receiving yards and an NFL 149 receptions while scoring 9 touchdowns. I watched a little bit of his highlights when I was doing my research. His specialty is proven to be short, intermediate routes.
He's a possession guy.
yeah.
Which is insulting to say because he's so much more than that. But he is.
He had 10 games of at least 100 yards and caught 8 or more passes 13 times this season, despite every defense focused on, all right, we got to continue.
Yeah, that's
this
the
guy.
thing. I said it earlier. They have no other wide receivers to throw to. When you're
Yeah.
at defense, you know this is our guy. This is the guy we need the game plan for.
Yeah.
And you can't stop him. And
It's
I think
crazy.
it really speaks to how good he is
Yeah.
and why he's better than Hopkins.
I
I know I just
completely
said
agree. I
Hopkins is a
completely
great
agree.
receiver.
This
That's,
year.
I'm not. Yeah, well, I'm not saying that.
Dude, think about it all years. You gotta think about it like that. You gotta think
When was Hopkins' breakout year?
Last year.
Last year? Yeah,
Last
right,
year.
right.
Thomas breakout year.
I had Thomas
year.
last year. Very.
No, Thomas was amazing. He was great last
He
year.
he was good.
His
he
bad
had a,
games
he
were
had
like
a few
10 or 12.
shaky weeks.
Like 10 or 12 were his bad weeks. His big weeks were like 35, 40.
Yeah.
That's true.
Kind of like
That's
Hopkins
true.
last
He
year.
was promising.
Hopkins was extremely consistent, but he also had a few dud weeks. So my point being, this year, where both teams are facing him, no, this is our guy that's going to be unreal. We have to stop him. He's the X factor.
Right.
Defenses can game plan for DeAndre Hopkins, like Pat said.
Right.
They can't for
They
Thomas.
can't. Right. There's so many other. He's just so.
And
he's
look
explosive.
at the Texans. I would say the Texans have better wide receivers than the Saints do.
I agree.
Kenny Stills, Will Fuller. Can't think of anybody else, but yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
Another big asset to Breeze this season, tight end Jared Cook.
Huge.
Caught 43 passes for 705 yards and 9 touchdowns so far this season. Excuse me. I kind of want to hop into Minnesota defense now. So they're ranked 15th in pass defense. They've allowed 5 300-yard passes this season. They've only given up an average of 234 yards per game. Opposing quarterbacks have completed only 66% of their throws and 23 touchdown passes in 2019.
66%?
It could be worse.
That's 2 of every 3 passes are being completed. That's really good.
But it could be worse. Let me finish. The Vikings have 17 interceptions on the year.
That's like
One of the
that's like
league's-
top 10 in the NFL. That's like top 5.
No, it's not.
66% completion rate?
No way.
Wait, who has that?
What do you mean?
Who has 66% completion rate?
The Vikings, opposing quarterbacks against the Vikings.
I see what he's saying.
Yeah, but that's still like really good.
It's
not.
It's
It's
middle of the pack, dude.
it is middle
no,
of the pack.
that's good.
It's-
66%?
No, I'm.
No. The Patriots allowed like 20%.
No way.
Well, no, it's probably like 55, 60, but like.
I see what both of you are saying.
And very opportunistic secondary. They can find ways to make stuff happen.
I definitely agree
Very,
with that.
very easily.
Yep.
Safeties Anthony Harris, Sendejo, Harrison Smith combined for 11 of those 17 picks so far.
Yeah.
Smith being one of the strongest safeties in the league, more than likely face up against Jared Cook this season. I know I said it before. This one's actually going to be a high-scoring game. I think this will be a very high-scoring game by 2 insane offenses. I do think the Saints will pull through, though. I think they'll win 34-27. That's my prediction.
All right.
I just want to say one thing.
All right, go for
Kirk
it.
Cousins is 0-10-1 when trailing in the fourth quarter, 0-3 in primetime games this year, 4-12 in night games, 2-4 in primetime.
I
That's all I'm gonna
completely
say.
agree. The spotlight
Greatest
kills
stat, in
him.
my opinion, 0-8 on Monday
He's
night.
gonna be. This is gonna be the best game all week. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 hot offenses duking it out, 2 hot quarterbacks, and there's no doubt Kirk Cousins is hot. The Vikings defense is good, and I think they're gonna find a way to eventually stop Thomas. Call me crazy. I think he's good. I believe it leaves a huge hole for Jared Cook in this game. I agree with that. And of course you can lean on Kamara. But this game, Breeze is going to have to find new ways to move the ball downfield. And one thing that he's utilized a lot is throwing Kamara the ball. And this is a problem because the Vikings allow the 8th fewest completions to running back. So this might hurt Kamara's play as a receiver, which might hurt just the ways to mix up the play against a good Vikings defense. But I think the killer is that the Saints are 3rd in sacks this year.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of pressure with Kirk Cousins, especially under the spotlight. I think the combo of defensive pressure and offensive strength will push the Saints to
Also,
win.
Breeze does not get sacked a whole lot either. They
Yeah.
have a great offensive line.
I'm with that. Saints win at New Orleans.
I think so too.
Interesting. All right, Pat, want to hop into Hawks,
I would
Eagles?
love to. So now we move to the
I gotta
the new
tell
side
you.
of this. These 2 teams, in my opinion, are the 2 worst teams in the playoffs. Call me crazy. I
I
think
think
the
the
2
Eagles
worst
and Seahawks are the worst.
2 worst teams in the playoffs.
Well, hold on.
I would say Texans.
You're looking at a hurting Seahawks team. As much as I love Lynch, that dude is old, and the Eagles have the 3rd least
looks
rushing yards
awful
in
on
games
Thursday
for this
night.
year.
Yeah.
You lost
looked
Carson.
bad.
You lost Carson. Wilson's numbers are down. You got to think about momentum in this one. Carson Wentz is hot. They've won 4 straight. Wentz has 7 touchdowns in those 4. And as crazy as it is, the Eagles are at home.
I know.
Think about that.
I know.
The Eagles are at home
Yeah, they don't
somehow.
have
And I
12th
think
man.
I think
Right.
the biggest thing, Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll can only take you so far.
Right. And then you look at the Eagles' secondary, dude. The secondary is 25th in the league in yards per completion. And this is what I like to see going... But this is what going to win the game for the Seattle Seahawks. I don't have the team going very far in the playoffs, but I think they're going to squeak out a win in Philadelphia. Seahawks winning a nail-biter. That's what I got.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sharpie
So
it in.
I think this is gonna be game of the week. In my
Me too,
opinion.
actually.
Yeah.
Seattle
I got Hawks.
going into Philly, 1.5-point favorites, but it seems like they're missing an arm and a leg. Right, they've lost both of their talented running backs, left tackle, banged up D line, banged up O line, and when you lose both your running backs, like Pat said earlier, that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Right, especially when you rank 5th in the NFL in run plays, like overall run plays, you're 5th in the NFL. You lose a huge part of your offense. Marshall Lynch is washed. Right, he's not
washed
good
out,
anymore.
true.
He punched in a touchdown last week from the 1, like he should.
That was just for the hype.
Should have
Should have for the Super Bowl.
49. No way he can carry the load for Seattle. I just said it 2 seconds ago. Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll can only take this team so far.
Yep.
What the Seahawks have going for them, though, they're probably the best road team in the NFL. They're 7-1 at home this year. Also, on the road this year. Also, they are 17-4 in Eastern Time Zone games. This is played in Philadelphia.
It's an interesting stat.
Eastern
It is an
time
interesting
zone.
stat.
Philly resides in the Eastern Time Zone. I would take Russell Wilson, who has playoff experience, over Wentz, who hasn't played in the playoffs in his entire career, which is like crazy, because he's been out for both of them. Russell Wilson is 10-2 in one possession games. I think this is gonna be a close game, and if history, like Pat, I've said like the entire
I
year,
love history repeating itself.
if it repeats, Russell Wilson has the edge. I think Philly keeps it close, and I think this is gonna be an awesome game. But I have the Eagles eking out a win 27-24.
Interesting.
I think they're just
Wow.
gonna get the W.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's everything.
Interesting.
They're the home team.
A bold twist here, folks. Very interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
So I got 2 underdogs.
I like that.
So, Michael, so we do have a top 3 this week. Michael, totally up to you. Do you want to do 2-minute warning first?
It's quick. It's quick. So let's just warm it
Let's
up.
do it.
So So here we go. We talked about Pat's Titans, right? It's gonna be a good game. I think it will too. I don't think it'd be good if it was divisional because Pats would smoke them with the bye, but because there's no bye, I think it's gonna be a lot closer. Titans are hot. Pats are not.
Yeah.
Lost to Dolphins last week. Dove into that. We talked about all the wild card games. We have a few underdogs. I think we're all consensus on Bills.
Agreed.
Right, aren't we? And we got Eagles win. I got Eagles winning.
Seahawks, both?
Seahawks. You got both of Seahawks. We all have Saints. All have Pats. I'm excited. I'm really
excited too. It's playoff season.
Saturday games.
As much as it means, as much as
Yeah.
it saddens me that fantasy and the regular season's coming to a close.
Oh my god.
There's nothing better than playoff football.
Oh,
There's
really
nothing beats
I
it.
completely agree.
I want to hop in top 3 board games. Who wants to start it off? Go for it. Go for it.
Number 3, coming in hot. Got Monopoly. It's gotta be on there.
Interesting.
Number
Okay.
2,
staple.
the Game of Life. Game of Life is a very slept-on game. Life. Great game. Number 1, nobody's played it. The Daily family loves it. Mousetrap. Mousetrap is a game. It's literally just a board game, and the whole thing is just a giant, chain reaction contraption thing. Mike.
Go for it.
So at number 3, I got checkers. I know. Call me boring.
No, that's boring.
I know.
You're boring.
I know.
It's not
It's a classic. Give me a break.
All right.
Number 2, Monopoly. Just
It's gotta be on there.
Monopoly. Number 1, I don't know if you know the game. You might not know it. Maybe. Stratego.
I love Stratego.
I love
Stratego
I've
is
never
a
heard
great
Stratego.
game.
So I'd like to hop into my top 3. Number 3, I've got Connect 4. Oldie but a goodie. Oldie but a goodie. Number 2.
You make my brain hurt.
Yeah, that takes no brain work at all.
So what?
No.
It takes monkey
That
brain
is half
work.
the things I do.
God.
Number 2, I think you boys like this one. Shoots and Ladders. Shoots and Ladders.
Underrated.
Shoots and Ladders
It's a
is a
classic.
very
a
underrated
classic.
Yeah, it's a
game.
great game.
Number 1, we all had it. I've got Monopoly.
Absolutely.
Finishing off,
Boys, clink it up.
boys.
Unreal.
Wrapped
Good
up now.
stuff.
Episode 9. I'm Neil,
I'm Pat.
I'm Michael.
and we'll see you next time.
Yeah! Let's go, boys. All right. Come on.